designated hitter and bats third. Derek Hall is at first base. He hits cleanup. In center field, batting fifth, Matt Gorski. Leover Peguero is at second base and hitting sixth. Playing first base, batting seventh, Malcolm Nunez. Abraham Gutierrez is the catcher. He bats eighth. He was just added to the roster in between ball games. And Alika Williams, the shortstop, will make his debut in 2025. He is batting ninth. On the mound, the number 6 prospect in the Pirates organization, according to MLB Pipeline, right-hander Braxton Ashcraft. It's Johnson, York, and Cook, Hall, Gorski, and Peguero, Nunez, Gutierrez, and Williams, with Ashcraft, the right-hander, on the mound. Home plate umpire here, the final person in the 3-man crew to call the balls and strikes. It'll be Stephen Hodgins. Louis Krupa is on first base, and Jeremy Riggs is over at third. Those are the starting lineups, brought to you by Wellaby. Do more, worry less, and make every day better. So we are now officially in a rain delay, and we will step aside, take you back to regular Hope 940 programming, and then come back just prior to the 7 o'clock Eastern first pitch for Game 2 of the doubleheader as the ICUBS are in search of a split. We'll step aside. We'll be back in about 30 minutes or so to bring you ICUBS baseball. But for now, hang with us. This has been the Iowa Cubs pregame show.
You've been listening to today's pregame show. Don't go anywhere. Iowa Cubs baseball is next, right here on Hope 940 KPSZ Des Moines and online at iowacubs.com.
This broadcast of Turning Point with Dr. David Jeremiah on Iowa's Hope 940 is sponsored by Turning Point Ministries.
Some of the language of Revelation is cloaked in symbolism, requiring study. But much of it is clear and simple, like the return of Jesus to conquer evil. Today on Turning Point, Dr. David Jeremiah examines Christ's promises for those who identify with his victory, for those he calls overcomers. From Escape the Coming Night, here's David to conclude his message, getting excited about the book.
And thank you for joining us. We're in the midst of these introductory messages on the book of Revelation. And in this particular lesson, we're listing 9 characteristics of this book that you should know about before you get started in reading it verse by verse. We're about halfway through this material, and we'll finish it up today. Tomorrow, we'll begin our study of the verses of Revelation itself in the first 8 verses of Revelation chapter 1 under the title of the inside cover of the book. We're so excited to have you along for this study. Before we get involved in opening our Bibles and our hearts to this truth, let me just remind you that we are taking a conference cruise to Alaska on July the 12th. We'll be on this cruise until the 19th of July, and we'll be visiting places like Juneau, Glacier Bay, Sitka, Ketchikan, Victoria, BC, and along with us will be musicians Michael Sanchez and Uriel Vega and others that we bring along as we get closer to the date. You don't want to miss this opportunity. We're already getting a very robust response to the opportunity to go to Alaska. We hope you'll join us in July as we meet together to visit this beautiful place. Right now, it's time to get started with today's lesson, and this is Getting Excited About the Book, Part 2 in the series, Escape the Coming Night.
Now, here's the outline of the book of Revelation. It's so simple. Chapter 1 is visions of God in glory. Chapter 2 and 3 are visions of the church on earth. And chapter 4 through the end of the book are visions of government that will be established in the future. Visions of God, visions of grace, visions of government. And ultimately, at the very end of the book, we have a vision of glory. Visions of God in chapter 1, visions of grace in the churches, chapters 2 and 3, visions of government, chapters 4 through 19, and visions of glory, chapter 20 through the end of the book. Now, how do you know that's true? Well, basically, John gave us his own outline, inspired by the Spirit of God. He said, this is how the book fits together. This is in the past, this is in the present, this is in the future. That's how the book is organized. All right? It's a meaningful book, not only because the Spirit of God opened the book and the Spirit of God outlined the book, but it's a meaningful book because the Spirit of God operates within the book. And I've said this to students when I've had the chance to teach the book of Revelation or to discuss it with young people who are trying to study it in seminary or in college. I've said this, and they look at me with a quizzical look, that the book of Revelation is the easiest book to understand in the Bible. They say, come on, Pastor, where are you coming from? Well, it's one of the easiest books, if not the easiest book in the Bible, because, listen to me now, it's a self-interpreting book. You know why you don't have to wonder what all these symbols mean? Because most of the time you're told right in the text, this is what it means. Now, I want to show you that. Look in chapter 1, verse 16. He had in his right hand 7 stars. What in the world are the 7 stars? Chapter 1, verse 20. And the mystery of the 7 stars which you saw in my right hand and the 7 golden lampstands. Here we are. The 7 stars are what? Angels of the 7 churches. And what are the 7 lampstands? Well, the 7 lampstands which you saw are the 7 churches. Let me show you a couple others. Turn over to chapter 4 and verse 5. And from the throne proceeded lightnings and thunders and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne. What are they? Which are the 7 spirits of God. You will find that little phrase, which are, which is, over and over in the Bible. You wonder what it is? Just keep reading, and if you read far enough, it'll probably tell you what it is. Look at chapter 5 and verse 6. And I looked, and behold, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 living creatures, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as though it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth. Look at chapter 5, verse 8. Now when he had taken the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each having a harp and golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. What are the golden bowls full of incense? Those are symbolic of the prayers of the saints, which rise to the throne of God. Look at chapter 9, verse 1. Then the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. And notice verse 11. And they had as king over them the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek he has the name Apollyon. If you read the rest of the chapter, you'll find out that the star that fell out of heaven to the earth is none other than the angel of the bottomless pit. The whole chapter is just about that. It explains it all right there. Look at chapter 12, verse 4. His tail drew 1/3 of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman who was ready to give birth to devour her child as soon as it was born. 1/3 of the stars of heaven, and he threw them to the earth. Look at chapter 12, verse 9. So the great dragon was cast out, and the serpent of old called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world, and he was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Right there in the context, it explains what it is. And you just go through the book, and if you look in the context, if you study it carefully, it will tell you what the symbols mean. Now, it's not all that way, but the vast majority of the symbols in the book of Revelation are explained right in the context of the book. It is a book which, if we study it carefully, can be of great value to us, and it does not have to be hard to understand. It is a meaningful book because the Spirit of God opened the book, the Spirit of God outlined the book, and the Spirit of God is in operation within the book, helping us to understand it. Let me give you the 5th thing about this book. The book of Revelation is a miraculous book. The reason it is miraculous is because it tells the future before it happens. It writes history before history is accomplished. It is the only prophetic book in the New Testament. And the book of Revelation tells us what is going to happen years and years before it ever happens. God doesn't have to be caught up in that because God is not subject to time, and the book of Revelation is God's word to us explaining what the future part of his present is going to be like, and he writes it just like history. And it is a book of prophecy. Notice the 3rd verse of the 1st chapter. Blessed is he who reads and hears the words of this prophecy. in chapter 22, verse 7, in chapter 22, verse 10, in chapter 22, verse 17, we are told that the book of Revelation is a prophetic book. And I only mention that because there's a system of interpretation of this book that says it isn't prophetic at all, but it's a book that was written about the history of the early church, and it's written in symbolic terms, and all we have to do is read it, and we can figure out what happened in the past. No, no, no. The book is a book of prophecy, which tells us what's coming in the future. It's a miraculous book. Now, this may surprise you, but number 6 is it's a motivational book. I'm sure all of you have read at least one motivational book in your life. This book is a motivational book. It is the only book in the Bible that motivates its readers by promising a blessing for those who will read and obey the book. It's the only book like that. And it promises at the front of the book and at the end of the book. Blessed is he who reads and those who hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written in it, for the time is near. And it is also in the 22nd chapter that we are told that we have a blessing if we read the book and we understand. I don't know about you, but when God tells me there's a way I can be blessed, a very significant way I can be blessed, and he puts it so plainly, I want to get in on it. I want to understand this book. The Bible says if I read it and I understand it and I follow it, I will be blessed by God. He says it at the beginning of the book. He says it at the end of the book. And I'm excited about getting in on that blessing because it's a promise from God himself. If we will discipline ourselves to study the book and mentally absorb this book and let it come into our heart and into our lives, the Spirit of God has promised to bless us because of it. And he will bless our church, and he will bless our families, and he will bless us individually. In fact, one of the 7s in the book of Revelation is there are 7 Beatitudes in the book of Revelation. Did you know that? Chapter 1, verse 3, blessed is he who reads and those who hear the words of the prophecy. Turn over to chapter 14 and verse 13. Then I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, write, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works follow them. Chapter 16, verse 15. Behold, I am coming as a thief. Blessed is he who watches and keeps his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. Chapter 19, verse 9. And he said to me, write, blessed are those who are called to the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said to me, these are the true sayings of God. Chapter 20, verse 6. Blessed and holy is he who has a part in the first resurrection. Over such the second death has no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Chapter 22, verse 7. Behold, I am coming quickly. Blessed is he who keeps the words of the prophecy of this book. In chapter 22, verse 14, blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. Here is a motivational book. Here's a book that says you read it and you'll be blessed. If you want God's blessing on your life, here's a surefire way to get it. Read the book, understand the book, follow the instruction of the book, and God has promised to bless your life. I, for one, am going to take that at face value and do it. I want you to know I've been blessed out of my socks already, just studying to get ready for this series. Number 7, it's a majestic book. This book is a book filled with majesty. This is the book of the throne. This is the book where we see Christ in all of his majesty. In fact, the word throne appears in the book 46 times. And the word king is found in the book of Revelation 37 times. And the words power and authority are found 40 times. Here in the book of Revelation, God is presented in all of his glory and all of his majesty. Nothing reveals the majesty of the book like the reaction of John to the personal revelation of Jesus Christ as it is recorded in chapter 1. Turn back to chapter 1 quickly. Notice the 17th verse of the first chapter. When John got a vision of the majesty of Christ in this book, we read, and when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. That was John's response to the view of God and his glory and all of his majesty. He said, when I saw that picture, he said, I just fell down as dead. And frankly, that's an overwhelming truth, because that's exactly what happened to Daniel when he got his view of God as well. Back in the book of Daniel, in chapter 10, we read these words, "And I, Daniel, alone saw the vision, for the men who were with me did not see the vision, but a great terror fell upon them, so that they fled to hide themselves. Therefore I was left alone, and when I saw this great vision, and no strength remained in me, my vigor was turned to frailty. I retained no strength, and I heard the sound of his words. And while I heard the sound of his words, I was in a deep sleep on my face, with my face to the ground." Let me tell you something, folks. If we see God in all of his glory, as John saw him and as Daniel saw him, we won't be flippant like we so often are. We'll be on our face before him, overwhelmed with the majesty of his person. Number 8, the book of Revelation is the maximal book. It's the ultimate book. It's the end book. It's the everything book. All that began in Genesis will one day be completed in Revelation. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. For in the book of Genesis, you have the commencement of heaven and earth, but in the book of Revelation, you have the consummation of heaven and earth. In the book of Genesis, you have the entrance of sin and the curse, but in the book of Revelation, you have the end of sin and the curse. In the book of Genesis, you have the dawn of Satan and his activities. In the book of Revelation, you have the doom of Satan and his activities. In the book of Genesis, you have the tree of life relinquished. In the book of Revelation, you have the tree of life regained. In the book of Genesis, death makes its entrance. In the book of Revelation, death makes its exit. In the book of Genesis, sorrow begins. In the book of Revelation, sorrow is banished. It is the terminus of everything that happens throughout the whole book. And it's like all of the trunk lines of everything that are found in little threads out here in the rest of the book kind of all funnel down through the book, and they all end up in the one grand central station of the book of Revelation. Every major prophetic theme that is touched upon in the Old and New Testament finds its terminus in the book of Revelation. So if you start back here with all of the pieces and you're looking for the end of it all, they all lead to one place. They all lead to the book of Revelation. When you get there, it's the capstone of everything. Last but not least, I want you to know that the book of Revelation is a militant book. You know what the major message of the book of Revelation is? The glorious victory of Jesus Christ over all of his enemies. The overriding theme of the book of Revelation is the return of Jesus Christ to defeat every evil and to establish his reign. It is definitely a book of victory, and his people are seen as overcomers. There are 7 promises to the overcomers in the book of Revelation. We shouldn't be surprised at that. The promises are for those who will identify themselves with the victory of Jesus Christ. And I hear a lot today about being an overcoming Christian. The book of Revelation is the greatest manual for what it means to be an overcoming Christian you will ever find. If you want to be victorious and get in on the victory that Christ has already wrought at the cross, the book of Revelation outlines various steps for those who will overcome. Let's just look at a couple of them that are before us. Notice chapter 2 and verse 7. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To him who overcomes, I will give to eat from the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise. Chapter 2, verse 11. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. He who overcomes shall not be hurt by the second death. Chapter 2, verse 17. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To him who overcomes, I will give some of the hidden manna to eat. Chapter 2, verse 26. And he who overcomes and keeps my works until the end, to him I will give power over the nations. And chapter 3 and verse 5, he who overcomes shall be clothed in white garments. In chapter 3 and verse 12, he who overcomes, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God. In chapter 3 and verse 21, to him who overcomes, I will grant to sit with me on my throne. In chapter 21 and verse 7, he who overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. Those are the promises for the overcomers. I'm excited about that. Did you see all the things you can have if you overcome? You know, there's some people that say, well, everybody's an overcomer. Theologically, positionally, that's true. If you're in Christ, you're already the victor. But he's not talking here about positional overcoming. He's talking about practical overcoming and being involved with Christ as a victor in the world which he reigns. And I don't know about you, but I believe we can have that overcoming in the world in which we live today. That's exactly what he wants us to have. I've left out one verse because it's the key verse to all of it. Chapter 12, verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to the death. Let me set the stage of that verse. This book, as I mentioned, reverberates with the tramp of armies and the noise of battle. And this passage begins with news that would startle any world from its sleep. Notice the 7th verse of the 12th chapter. And war broke out where? And war broke out in heaven. And Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought. The might of hell was in array against Christ and God, and it was revolt by the host of darkness in a final attempt to take over the throne of God. But the rebel armies were hurled back, and the victory was ascribed to the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. Verse 10, then I heard a voice saying in heaven, now salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ have come. For the accuser of our brethren who accused them before our God day and night has been cast down. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to the death. The Bible says that the victory that was won in the war in heaven was literally, actually won by the martyrs who the devil tried to destroy. And they overcame the devil as the martyrs of Christ. And here's the threefold way in which they did it. And I couldn't help but think it's the way we overcome today. They overcame him, first of all, by the blood of the Lamb. Turn back to chapter 7 and verse 14. And I said to him, speaking of the martyrs, sir, you know. So he said to me, these are the ones who came out of the great tribulation and washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Let me tell you, the first step in overcoming for any of you is this. If you haven't been washed in the blood of the Lamb, you're not an overcomer. You can't overcome apart from the blood of Jesus Christ. That's step number one in the formula to be an overcomer. You must come through the blood of the Lamb. You must be born again. And I trust that if you're here and you don't know Jesus Christ, you understand that this book does not spell for you a glorious future, but it spells your doom and your ultimate separation forever from God and from glory. Unless you come as the martyrs of the tribulation period and are washed in the blood of the Lamb, you cannot be an overcomer. But notice, secondly, they overcame not only by the blood of the Lamb, but by the word of their testimony. This could be a written testimony, but literally the word here is a word which has to do with the spoken testimony, a verbal testimony. They overcame by the words that they testified concerning Jesus Christ. I don't have time to go into it, but the victorious people that I know, the people that are overcomers in Christ, the people that seem to walk on a different level than many of us seem to walk, are the people who aren't ashamed of Christ. And by the word of their testimony, they're telling everyone about the Lord. And there's a sense of victory in their lives that you don't often see among Christian people. I know a few like that. Some of you are like that. God knows my heart. I want to be like that. I never feel so victorious in my life as when I'm confronted by somebody who doesn't know the Lord, and in the power of the Spirit, I can share Christ. I do it on airplanes and in drugstores and in restaurants as often as I can. And when you share Christ with somebody, you've taken a step to being an overcomer that's like no step I know. When you're a witness for Christ, you become an overcomer. But the third thing was this: they loved not their lives till the death. I can't help but think the reason many of us in this generation are not overcomers, we love our lives too much. We're trying to get on with the pursuit of materialism. We're trying to build a comfortable nest for ourselves. We're into keeping up with the Joneses. We've got to have this trinket and that trinket, and we're so caught up in the materialism of the world, and we wonder why we're not overcomers in Christ. We're living for the wrong world. Nobody has asked us literally to give up our lives as martyrs and to die for Christ as they did in the tribulation period, but he's asked us to live for him. And my friend, to be an overcomer, that means not loving your life more than you love the cause of Christ.
Since 1981, a prospect's path to Wrigley Field has run directly through Principal Park in Des Moines. With several of the Cubs' future stars on the roster this season, the Iowa Cubs are aiming for their first trip to the postseason since 2019. Stay tuned as we bring you the soundtrack of the summer, the unmistakable crack of the bat.
Drilled, center field, McKinney to the wall, it's gone! Pinch hit, grand slam, Moises Ballesteros, bye-bye. Here's Kevin Alcantara. To deep to right field. Rivas back to the track at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. It's 3-1 Iowa.
The satisfying pop of the mitt.
1-2 pitch. Cut on it. Miss, strike three. Cade Horton.
And the roar from the crowd after a tremendous defensive play.
3-2. A drive. Leaping catch, Matt Shaw. Oh, baby.
It's time for Iowa Cubs baseball on Hope 940. Now, let's head out to the ballpark for the call of today's game with the voice of the Iowa Cubs, Jason Kemp.
Welcome back once again inside the broadcast booth here in Indianapolis as we are just about ready for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Indianapolis has taken the field behind Braxton Ashcraft, their starter here in Game 2, 6'5", 220-pound, 25-year-old from Waco, Texas, a former second-round pick in the 2018 draft by Pittsburgh. He is the number 6 prospect in the Pirates farm system, according to MLB Pipeline. He started on opening night for the Indians in St. Paul. It was an outing I think he would prefer to forget. 3 1/3 innings. He allowed 3 runs on 5 hits and 4 walks and struck out 5 in an 11-0 loss for the Indians. This is his second consecutive opening day start. He also did so, or I should say his second opening day start overall. He also did it back in 2019 when he was with short season West Virginia in the Pirates farm system. And he is trying to help Indianapolis sweep a doubleheader today against the Iowa Cubs. Meanwhile, the I-Cubs looking for their first win today after a walk-off loss following their big-time come-from-behind effort in game number 1. Warm-up tosses are finished for Ashcraft, and we are just about ready for baseball here at Victory Field. Christian Franklin will lead us off. He had game 1 off for the I-Cubs back in the lineup, and the first pitch today is a fastball high from Ashcraft at 95 miles per hour. We get started at 6:59, 1 minute earlier than planned after the brief delay. 24-minute rain delay as Ashcraft comes home, and Franklin pounds one foul on the ground behind home plate. And he was the count 1-1 now. Franklin with long blue sleeves under the red uniform top. Swings 1-1 and launches a high fly ball, twisting foul down the right field line. And it's a ball and 2 strikes now on Christian Franklin, hitting .273 with 2 runs batted in. Ashcraft from the far right side of the rubber comes home out of the windup and strikes out Franklin swinging. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and there's 1 down in the first. Time for the defensive alignment, brought to you by Artisan Capital Group. For Indianapolis, Derek Hall at first. The Over-Piguero is playing second. Alika Williams is the shortstop with Malcolm Nunez at third base. Owen Casey climbs in. The right fielder in on the left side, swings at a slider and lines it sharply back up the middle of base hit. Casey is aboard. His second hit today. He had a base knock in a 1-for-4 showing in game 1. The Indianapolis outfield is Johnson, Gorski, and York from left to right. And a catcher just added to the roster today, Abraham Gutierrez, is behind the plate. Here is Jonathan Long, the first baseman, batting third, a right-handed hitter, as Ashcraft comes home out of the stretch, and a fastball slap foul on a late swing to the right side, strike one. Don't miss out on all the fun that downtown Des Moines offers, and check out Cityville on 9th, managed by Artisan Capital Group. 0-1 on Long, who had one at bat in game one today. That was in extras. 1-1 from Ashcraft. Lined sharply to right, a base hit the other way for Long. Picked up on a couple of bounces out in right field by Nick York. And there are two on quickly for the ICubs here in the first. One gone for Ben Cowles, who has been perhaps the hottest hitter in the lineup so far this year, hitting .400 now with a home run and 4 runs batted in. The ICubs threatening here in the first. It's been a series filled with come-from-behind efforts. They have struggled early in games, but stormed back late twice. Ashcraft to Cowles. Off the end of the bat on a slider and launched foul toward right. And it's 0-1. Cowles acquired in the trade that brought his teammate Jack Neely along with him from the New York Yankees to the Chicago Cubs. 0-1 on Cowles. Here it comes, swinging a miss through a fastball, and Ashcraft gets on top quickly. 0-2. The ICubs had chances in game one early. Bases loaded, nobody out in the third, but hadn't scored until the 6th inning. A check of the runner at second, Casey, and now the 0-2 pitch. It's a slider fought off foul in and out of the mid of Gutierrez. So the battle continues. Ashcraft again trying to erase the tough feelings from opening night in St. Paul when he got knocked around. Lanky right-hander, long hair flowing down from under his cap, delivers and strikes out Cowles swinging with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He has 2 strikeouts in the ballgame. So not a bad start here for Ashcraft. A couple of strikeouts with a couple of hits in between. And James Triantos will try and cash in here, the designated hitter, .333 with an RBI. He tied the game when the ICubs were down to their final strike in game one. 3-2 pitch, lined it off the wall and left. Right-handed hitter, Pat resting on his shoulder. Ashcraft fires and a bouncing ball hit up the middle to short. Alika Williams has it and flips it to the second baseman to end the inning. Again, the ICubs threaten early. They have nothing to show for it. 2 hits and 2 men left. After a half inning, the ICubs nothing, and Cade Horton will make his 2025 debut after the break.
Dream Steam Restoration and Cleaning's fully trained and certified team is your designated hitter. For cleaning carpet, air ducts, furniture, dryer vents, and more. Need restoration? We cover all the bases. Water, fire, and storm damage, mold removal, even biohazard cleanup. We use eco-friendly products safe for your family and pets. Call for an estimate and we'll knock it out of the park. 515-512-5387 or visit DreamSteamInc.com. Dream Steam Restoration and Cleaning, servicing Central Iowa. Family owned and operated since 1983.
A 10-game flex pack is the perfect way to experience all of the fun of an Iowa Cubs game at Principal Park while not being tied to a set of dates. Create a customized experience just for you. Use all 10 tickets for one game or mix and match them over multiple visits. The choice is yours. Flex pack tickets are good for any game all season long. Visit iowacubs.com to get yours today.
All right, here's the thing with mobile banking. You can get the laundry done and the yard, and it's only Thursday. Sure, run that extra block or mile with your four-legged buddy. Hey, you're at the gym? Do a few more reps. A little more gaming with your squad? Yeah, the Galaxy needs you. Better eat another s'more. And by another, we mean fifth. Soak up every single minute of every single day. Go on and do whatever it is you do and still keep in touch with your money. Great Southern Mobile Banking. Get the app now for Android and iOS. Member FDIC. Data rates may apply. See carrier for details.
Let's get back to Iowa Cubs baseball on Hope 940 with Jason Kemp.
Well, after one rain out and another rain out this week and a rain delay, Cade Horton finally on the mound for the Iowa Cubs. And he will begin facing Bryce Johnson, the leadoff hitter for Indianapolis. Horton wearing a light blue glove on his left hand, comes home out of the windup, and a fastball zooms in at 97 for strike one called. Johnson hitting 111. And Horton comes back. Breaking ball for a strike. That was the slider, 84 miles an hour, and it's quickly 0-2. You know, Horton was eager to get out there. He came out even while the tarp was on the field and started stretching. 0-2 pitch. Fastball, broken bat, flare to third. Chase Strumpf is there. And there's one away. Got all over the hands of Johnson with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And there's one out. Defensive alignment brought to you by Artisan Capital Group. Jonathan Long, Dixon Machado, Ben Cowles, and Chase Strumpf around the infield from right to left. As Nick York stands in. Right-handed hitter takes just a little bit outside with the bender, ball one. York, a former first-round pick of the Red Sox. Horton, a first-round pick of the Cubs. Going head-to-head. And Cade fires a fastball that beat him, and he fouled it off toward right. York having a good start to the year, hitting .333. He had two doubles. Game one of the doubleheader today. Left to right in the outfield, Greg Allen, Christian Franklin, and Owen Casey. Here's a Horton fastball fouled back again by Nick York. And it's a ball and two strikes. Reese McGuire has the catching duties here in the nightcap. Strumpf hugging the line at third as Horton comes home once more and runs a fastball up and out of the zone. And it's 2-2 with one out in the first. No score early on here in Indianapolis. Horton right back to work with a slider. Check swing, and it's a little bit outside to fill up the count 3-2. Not a bad pitch whatsoever from Cade Horton that time. Just off the outside corner, and you thought you might get a chase there. But York, a very disciplined hitter. 3-2 pitch. Slider just up and in, ball four. And it's a one-out walk here in the first. All of those breaking balls were around the strike zone at the very least. Fastball up to 97.5 miles per hour here early on for Cade Horton. Billy Cook will be the hitter. The DH hitting third, 200 with an RBI. Cade Horton last year in Iowa made 5 starts early in the campaign. He delivers and blows a fastball right past the swinging Billy Cook for strike one. Last start came on May 29th at Louisville. It was a one-inning start, and after that, his season was finished. Out of the stretch, third base side. He reaches back and blows another fastball by Billy Cook. It's 0-2. So good to see Cade Horton back on the mound. He went on the 60-day injured list last year on July 24th. They knew season was over for Horton after that start in Louisville. 0-2 pitch. Right down the middle, called strike three. 97 right down Main Street. And Horton has his first strikeout of the campaign. Bruno by Anderson strikeout cancer campaign to benefit the American Cancer Society. For every strikeout by an ICUBS pitcher this year, Bruno by Anderson will make a $5 contribution to the American Cancer Society. After that strikeout, 2 away for Derek Hall. A throw over to first, and York dives back. The American Cancer Society working to improve the lives of people with cancer and their families through advocacy, research, and patient support to ensure everyone has an opportunity to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer. Runner goes, first pitch to Hall, foul back into the net, and it's strike one. And Derek Hall is saying that his bat hit the mid of the catcher, Reese McGuire. And the home plate umpire, Stephen Hodgins, I can read his lip on the television screen here in the booth, is saying, now that sound was the ball hitting the bat. So Hall thinking that it should have been catcher's interference. And the umpire saying, no, it's a foul ball. Chris Truby, the manager, came out. And we'll get a look at the replay here. And I'm not sure. It was close to the catcher's mitt. Hard to tell for sure, but Derek Hall looked back right away. He didn't hit anything. It might have been the laces of McGuire's mitt. Too hard to tell on that replay. The 0-1 pitch right over home plate, and it's quickly 0-2. Derek Hall 0 for 8 at the start of the campaign, so he was looking for any way to reach base that time. 2 outs here, a man on first, and an 0-2 pitch. Just missed the upper outside edge. Not by much. Horton locked in here early on. Maybe a little bit off the outside edge. 97 consistently for Cade Horton. He comes set, glances at first once again, and fires. Same spot, same result, just outside, 2-2. Good patience here for Derek Hall. $114 games in AAA Lehigh Valley for the Phillies last year for Derek Hall. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Check swing on a slider. He did go, and that's another strikeout for Cade Horton. He finishes his first inning of the season with back-to-back punch-outs. And he strands a 1-out walk to Nick York. We're on to the second. Scoreless after 1 at Victory Field on Hope 940.
Can you think of anything that costs the same today as it did 10 years ago? There isn't much. That is, unless you're a Mid-American Energy customer. Thanks to all the renewable energy we're generating, our customers pay nearly the same rate for electricity today as they did back when we were all singing, "Call Me Maybe." And with Mid-American making even more investments in clean energy, you can count on enjoying those same affordable rates for the next decade. Now that's obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Make more memories together this summer. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion with friends and family, hosting clients, or treating your staff, take them to Principal Park for an unforgettable time. Groups of 25 or more qualify for reduced prices. Come eat, drink, and watch baseball as a group for as low as $7 per ticket. Visit iowacubs.com to book your outing and ask about adding on a unique group experience.
In the heart of downtown Des Moines, Confluence on Third Apartments offers a resort-style apartment community with luxurious studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes. Enjoy the fun and convenience of downtown living with first-class amenities that include a sprawling outdoor courtyard with a pool, grill station, dog run, and hot tub. Other amenities include a fitness studio, rooftop, sky deck, game room, theater, underground parking, and so much more to enhance your everyday living experience at Confluence on Third Apartments. With your favorite downtown venues just a short walk or bike ride away, you'll love the convenience of living at Confluence on Third Apartments. Learn more at ConfluenceOnThirdAPTS.com.
Iowa Cubs baseball lives here on Hope 940. And now, Jason Kemp.
Back to work are the Iowa Cubs with the bats in their hand. Dixon Machado leads off the second by taking a strike from Braxton Ashcraft, and it's 0-1. Dixon Machado, 364 with 4 runs batted in. Got robbed of an RBI in game 1 this afternoon. Swings away and lines a base hit toward the right field corner. This is going to roll for a while. It hits the sidewall and shoots out into right field. Machado is into second as he barely avoided Derek Hall, the first baseman. He has a double. It's a leadoff inning number 2. Good stuff again for Dixon Machado. A hard hit ball the other way. And they were playing him a bit to pull and had all kinds of room down the line. So Machado into second, 3rd hit of the game already for the Iowa Cubs, and Greg Allen comes to the plate. 1 for 3 with a walk this year. First game was on Tuesday. Left-handed hitter with good speed, puts a bunt down right in front of the plate. A good bunt, barehanded by the catcher Gutierrez, and he gets the throw off to first in time for the first out. Greg Allen with a beauty of a sac bunt. He was thinking hit for a moment, but good play by the newly added Abraham Gutierrez. And striding into the box now is Reese McGuire, the catcher. McGuire, 333 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. He had an RBI in game 1 today with a sac fly. The infield is all the way in. And the pitch, he is upstairs, taken for ball 1. Indianapolis getting a feeling this may be a low-scoring game. It is a 7-inning contest, so it moves quickly. And they're trying to cut down a run at the plate here on a ground ball. Ashcraft ready, staring at the runner at third. And the pitch is on the inside corner, a called strike to get even 1-1. Bat waving over the shoulder. Breaking ball, bounce toward first. Derek Hall has it, throwing off balance to the plate. A miss on the initial tag, and then Machado caught diving back to home plate for the second out of the inning. Derek Hall moved to his right and gloved the chopper from McGuire. He came home, and the throw was high and outside into the right-hand batter's box, which is where Machado was coming down the line. Machado jumped backwards behind home plate and avoided the initial tag. And then as he dove back in the direction of the plate, Gutierrez was able to tag him on the shoulder right as his fingertips touched the plate. So 2 outs, a man on first, and Chase Trump swings through a changeup. So McGuire unable to get the run in, and the I-Cubs continue to struggle early on in games. It was a 3-2 putout. McGuire now at first, and Strumpf, who is 0 for 3 this season with an RBI, is in the box. And the number 9 hitter takes another strike, and it's 0-2. Well, bases loaded, nobody out in game 1 in the third inning, and the I-Cubs didn't score. A man on second, nobody out here in the second inning of game 2, and they come up empty. At least in that situation. Big lead over at first, and McGuire was dancing towards second, and finally Ashcraft saw enough and stepped off. McGuire not a huge base stealing threat. The 0-2. Inside, that one darting toward the knees of Strumpf, who straightened up his legs and jumped out of the way. Want to get as many innings in before it rains as you can. It is going to rain again. 1-2 to Strumpf, line to foul. Got a good piece of Ashcraft's fastball, but hit it backwards into the net. Well, so far in Indianapolis, the I-Cubs have entered the final inning down by 1 in each of the first 2 games and come back to at least tie it. Trying to get some early offense in game 3 of the series now. Ashcraft, a high leg kick at the pitch, grounded toward third. Backhanded by Nunez, throws across his body, and keeping his foot on the base was Derek Hall, stretching toward the right field wall, and the inning is over. Couple of nice defensive plays from the corner infielders help keep the Iowa Cubs off the board in the second, despite a leadoff double from Dixon Machado. More from Victory Field after this break on the Iowa Cubs Broadcast Network.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Escape to paradise at Principal Park for Margaritaville night on Friday, June 14th. Enjoy a night of island vibes with a live performance by Banana Wind, a Hawaiian t-shirt giveaway to the first 1,000 fans, and the ultimate feast, a cheeseburger and margarita special. Kick back, soak up the summer fun, and enjoy baseball with a tropical twist. Get your tickets now at iowacubs.com.
Looking for the perfect home? Artisan Management Group has you covered at Cityville on 9, the Iowa Cubs home away from home. With a resort-style pool, state-of-the-art fitness center, and an expansive dog park, they've got all the bases covered. Choose a studio, 1, 2, or 3-bedroom apartments, all just a home run distance from Principal Park. Find your perfect place at cityvilleon9.com or explore all their communities at artisanmanagementgroup.com. Cityville on 9. Live well, live artisan. More Iowa Cubs baseball with Jason Kemp on Hope 940.
Well, the rain has begun to fall here in Indianapolis as expected, maybe a little bit earlier than you would have hoped. As Cade Horton begins his second inning, Matt Gorski on the hill. And the pitch is a slider spinning tightly over the inside edge for strike one. 250, a home run, and 2 RBI for Gorski. Next pitch from Cade. Slider for a strike again. Gets him on top 0-2. Not wasting any time in between pitches. Here he comes again. Struck him out swinging. 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Matt Gorski back to the dugout. 3 strikeouts for Cade Horton in the last 3 batters faced. And the rain not bothering him so far. 1 away for Liover Peguero. Horton fires, missing down and inside. That back Peguero out of the box. So far, the field, and specifically the mound, most importantly, holding up to the rain. Here's a hard ground ball to short. Moving to his left and cutting it off is Cowles near the base. Throws to first, 2 gone. And that brings Malcolm Nunez to the plate. He was the hero in game 1, if you will, a pinch hit walk-off fielder's choice. With the throw to the plate not quite in time to cut down the winning run with 1 out of the 8th inning. Horton looking for a 1-2-3 frame. He hangs his slider and it's drilled to left. Greg Allen going back on the warning track. He has room in front of the LED board out there to end the inning. And it's a 1-2-3 frame for Cade Horton as Nunez just missed the breaking ball that time. 3 up and 3 down for the Indians. 2 in the books quickly at Victory Field. More from Indianapolis after the break on the Iowa Cubs Radio Network.
The diamonds shine brighter with Morrissey fine jewelry.
Sometimes you hear people talk about going out of their way to help you. Well, I'm Vince Morrissey from Morrissey Fine Jewelry, and I like to make one thing very clear. Helping you is never out of our way at Morrissey's. It's just the way we do business. We'll do whatever it takes to take care of you. Stop in and see us. Morrissey Fine Jewelry, 235 5th Street in Valley Junction, West Des Moines.
Get ready for 2 nights of live music at Principal Park. Join us Friday, May 23rd for a rock show featuring the Pork Tornadoes, Damon Dotson, and the Punching Pandas. Then on Saturday, May 24th, country star Craig Campbell takes the stage with Jordan Beam and Brad Morgan. Both shows start at 6 p.m. with gates opening at 5. General admission is just $15 per night or $25 for both. Upgrade to a hospitality package or go all in with a Bud Club table for the ultimate concert experience. Get your tickets now at iowacubs.com.
Whether it's a Friday night or the 4th of July celebration, Iowa Cubs fans truly love the great fireworks shows at Principal Park each and every season. J&M Displays is a longtime provider of all Iowa Cubs fireworks shows. J&M Displays is ready to help with any event or celebration you have in mind. Their experienced team of expert pyrotechnicians are creative and highly trained to make your event one that will never be forgotten for fireworks and special effects. Call on J&M Displays, one of the largest suppliers in the Midwest. Go to jnmdisplays.com for more information.
Get your peanuts ready. Iowa Cubs baseball is back on Hope 940.
Back to the top of the order for the Iowa Cubs here in the 3rd. Christian Franklin leading off. Franklin struck out swinging to open the ballgame today. Corners are in for him. Ashcraft's first pitch upstairs, ball 1. Now third baseman Malcolm Nunez backs up, and the second pitch is also high, 2-0. Good matchup on the mound today, Ashcraft and Horton. Light shining as the sun sets. The 2-0 pitch is high, ball 3. The Iowa Cubs wearing their red uniforms. Iowa in big blue block letters across the front with blue inserts around the arms. 3-0 on Franklin. He's taken all the way, and it's ball 4. 4 straight out of the zone. First walk of the ball game for either side. Or I should say for Ashcraft. Horton did walk one in the first inning. So leadoff man on with very good speed. And Owen Casey, who singled up the middle in his first at-bat, is back in the box. Keep an eye on Franklin here. As Ashcraft settles into the stretch, Franklin is running. The pitch is inside. The throw to second is in time. Franklin is caught stealing, not by much. He stumbled a bit getting out of the gates. I thought he might stop, but he tried to make it and almost did. Get a look at the replay. Alika Williams, the shortstop, put the tag down, and boy, I think he beat it. So tough call there, and there's one away. The 1-0 pitch to Casey dips low for ball 2. Franklin's foot sputtered initially, and that was what cost him there. 2-0 to Casey. Slapped hard the other way into left, to base hit. Casey has gone up the middle and now to left field in a 2-for-2 start to the ballgame. And Jonathan Long, who had a single his first time up, will step in. Boy, that's such a big call at second base. If Franklin's safe, he might have scored on that base knock. Worst case, you'd have first and third, nobody out. First pitch to Long, up and in, ball 1 from Ashcraft. And Ashcraft has challenged it. And we get a look at the replay, and it was upstairs by a couple of inches. So already one challenge gone for Indianapolis, wearing their alternate blue Circle City uniforms. White and red piping. The 1-0 to Jonathan Long. Broken back, ground ball to third. Nunez circles, fields to second for 1, on to first, and that throw is airmailed off the front of the ICUBS dugout. It stayed in the field of play, so Jonathan Long will be at first base on the ground out. When Casey was retired 5-4, then I don't think a good throw would have got him anyways. But now Ben Cowles with a man on and 2 outs. Scoreless here in the third inning of game 2. Ashcraft to the plate, off the end of the bat. Cowles floats it into shallow right. It's down for a base hit. Couple of steps in front of the charging Nick York, whose throw to the infield got away, but not far enough for anyone to advance. The ICUBS knocking around Ashcraft a little bit, despite having nothing to show for it. They have 5 hits. James Triantos with the same situation he was presented with back in the first inning. Men on first and second with 2 outs. He grounded to short that time. And we'll take another crack at it right here. Ashcraft to Triantos. Pitch number 1. Lifted foul off the top of the net on the right side behind home plate. Triantos trying to adjust his cleats there. I don't know if he spun out a little bit on the follow through, but trying to dig some mud out of there. Runners take their lead, Long and Cowles. Second and first, respectively, as Ashcraft checks on him and fires. Swing and a miss. 95 pouring down and in on the hands of James Triantos, and the count 0-2 on the Iowa Cubs designated hitter. Triantos was hitless in game 1 until there were 2 outs in the final inning, and he doubled off the wall to tie the game. Tough guy to strike out. We know that. Ashcraft trying to do it here with the 0-2 pitch. Floated foul toward right. That one got in on his hands. A late swing. Again, the crowd very sparse here, just like game 1 on a Thursday night, and this time it's because of the rain. It is drenched down there in the seating bowl. Doesn't look like it's actively raining at the moment. It had been earlier. Here's a second straight 0-2 pitch to Triantos, and he lunges at a fastball off the outside corner and strikes out swinging, as the ICUBS have stranded 5 through 3 innings at the plate. No runs on a couple of hits, no errors in 2 left. We head to the bottom of the third after 2.5, 0-0. ICUBS and Indians on the ICUBS Broadcast Network.
Furniture Options has been specializing in furnishing apartments since 1985. They're proud to provide people in transition with quality rental furnishings, impeccable service, and affordable rates. Check out FurnitureOptions.com to find out more about their selection and flexible payment options. Their showroom is open weekdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Whether it's work or anything else that takes you into temporary housing, Furniture Options can help. Furniture Options, options for a changing environment.
Great news! 2025 Iowa Cubs season tickets are still available, and there's no better place to spend your summer than out at the ballpark. You'll get access to the best seats at the best price, free parking, invitation to member-only events, and so much more. Let's take your fandom to the next level and become a season ticket member today. Call 515-243-6111 or visit iowacubs.com to buy your tickets. We can't wait to see you at Principal Park.
Your premier Chevy dealers, proud to be presenting sponsors of the Iowa Cubs Kids Club and proud to be part of Team Chevy, the #1 selling brand in Iowa for the past 10 years. Thanks to a talented roster that includes versatile SUVs like Equinox and dependable trucks like Silverado. Visit moreiowans.drivechevy.com today to find exciting offers and a dealer near you based on IHS Markit CYE 2010 to 2020 new vehicle retail registrations in the state of Iowa.
Hope 940 is your home for Iowa Cubs baseball all summer long.
Abraham Gutierrez, the catcher, will lead off in the Indianapolis third, just added to the roster between games of a doubleheader. And he takes up and in ball one. Gutierrez last year in 44 games with Double-A Altoona hit .251 with 20 runs batted in. Horton to the plate, and it's a strike. Same part of the zone there on the inside corner. This time it caught a piece, and it's 1-1. Horton looks locked in early. He fires a slider, waved at and missed by Gutierrez. And Horton moves further in front, 1-2. Last year, Gutierrez spent time in the FCL, in Single-A Bradenton, and in Double-A Altoona. 25 years old from Caracas, Venezuela. Waits for the two-strike offering from Horton. It swings over the top of it, strike three. A slider buried again from Cade Horton. His fourth strikeout through 8 batters. And the next hitter will be Alika Williams. Defensive-minded shortstop who hit .311 last year, 41 games with Indianapolis. Played 37 games with the big league club and hit .207. Right-handed batter out of Arizona State. He looks at strike one. Williams has been a part of a few organizations now. And he waves through a Horton fastball. He was late on it, and it's quickly 0-2. Drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays in 2020, 37th overall. Traded to Pittsburgh for Robert Stevenson. Horton ahead 0-2. And he tried the fastball again. Williams poked it foul, just barely able to stay alive. Now, right now in downtown Indianapolis, we are surrounded by storms, and it looks like they're going to be here any minute now. Very dark out there. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Horton went with a slider again, and Williams lunged off the outside corner. 5 strikeouts for Cade Horton. One time through the lineup. It looks like that rain is probably going to arrive about 20 minutes from now. So how far can you get in that span? Here's Bryce Johnson, the leadoff man, lined at third his first time up. Strumpf in at third as a changeup from Horton Dance, who's down low, ball one. Still no hits for Indianapolis, 5 for the ICUBS. As the 1-0 from Horton is also off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. The ICUBS have certainly had their opportunities early on in this one. Left 2 men on in the first and the third. Left 1 man stranded in the second. 2-0. Johnson tried to check his swing and did on a slider down and in, and it's ball 3. Dangerous bat of Nick York on deck. Johnson trying to get on base in front of him. He's in the driver's seat, 3-0, and he just drew a 4-pitch walk. Second of the game issued by Cade Horton. And the The guy who drew the first one, Nick York, is striding into the batter's box. Well, actually, the umpire is saying that's ball 3. That was definitely ball 4. And now they will allow Johnson to head to first. So initially, he started to take his gear off, and the umpire gave him a hand and said, no, not quite. But after a conversation, he pointed to first and said, yeah, go ahead. So Nick York is at the plate. Johnson with good speed at first. Horton trying to dial back in, and he does with a fastball right past York. 95 miles an hour for strike 1. Decent lead now for Johnson. Throw over there from Horton and a tag a little bit late from Jonathan Long. And Cade Horton, just 23 years old. Started last year in Double-A and made his way to Iowa in quick fashion. 0-1 pitch. There's a strike, 0-2. 2023 Cubs minor league pitcher of the year, but lost his season last year relatively early with injury. Tommy John back in 2021. Now the 2-strike pitch to York. And he was out in front of a slider and just barely got a piece. Slapping it softly toward the on-deck circle that is vacant on the ICUBS side. Bright yellow batting gloves, Pirates colored on the hands of Nick York. Number 5 Pirates prospect after being acquired in a trade with Boston. Runner goes, 0-2 in the dirt, blocked by McGuire, and no throw will be made. Johnson steals it without a throw and gets into scoring position with 2 outs. And now Indianapolis has really their first opportunity to try and drive in a run. York will have to do it with 2 strikes. Horton ready, a deep breath, and he sets it toward the plate. Hit in the air towards center. He got underneath it off the end of the bat. Christian Franklin trotting in, camps underneath it in center field and makes the catch to end the inning. Just a couple of walks so far allowed by Cade Horton. He has 5 strikeouts through 3 innings. We are scoreless as we make our way to the 4th on the ICUBS Broadcast Network.
Musco Sports Lighting is a proud sponsor of the Iowa Cubs. Since 1976, Musco has called Iowa home while creating the most innovative sports lighting solutions in the world. Musco's LED system improves visibility and creates light shows to celebrate everything from a home run to another iCubs win. From Principal Park to community fields to the biggest stadiums in the world, Musco creates a better experience for players and fans. Learn more at musco.com.
A 10-game flex pack is the perfect way to experience all of the fun of an Iowa Cubs game at Principal Park while not being tied to a set of dates. Create a customized experience just for you. Use all 10 tickets for one game or mix and match them over multiple visits. The choice is yours. Flex pack tickets are good for any game all season long. Visit iowacubs.com to get yours today.
There's so much to do in downtown Des Moines. Why waste your time commuting when you come to visit? The Hampton Inn downtown sits right next to the Des Moines River at 120 Water Street and just 2 blocks north of Principal Park, 2 blocks south of Fort Avenue Entertainment District, and a short walk from the East Village. Stay at a great room with free Wi-Fi and breakfast during your stay. Don't sit on the sidelines. Call 515-244-1650 to book a room at the Hampton Inn downtown and be part of the action in downtown Des Moines.
I'm Owen Casey, and you're listening to Iowa Cubs Baseball on Hope 940.
Plenty of opportunities, nothing to show for it for the Iowa Cubs as they bat to begin the 4th in its scoreless ballgame. Dixon Machado led off the 2nd inning with a double. He'll be the first man to face Braxton Ashcraft here in his 4th inning of work. First pitch. Downstairs, sinking into the dirt, ball 1. Ashcraft at just south of 40 pitches right now. Lifts the leg high in the air and comes home with a called strike. That was his 40th pitch of the day. Now the 41st, waved out and missed. 90 miles an hour from Ashcraft. And it moves to 1-2 on Machado, who's off to a tremendous start. Double again in his first at bat, had a base hit in game one. And this is ripped on one hop to a sliding grab by the shortstop, Alika Williams, who pops immediately to his feet and fires to first for out number one. You know, Alika Williams, the one thing he can do is pick it on the left side of the infield, and he did not have much of a choice that time. A laser off the bat of Machado, and it one hopped as he dove back into his right and made a great throw. One away for Greg Allen now. Left-handed hitter, fouls back a fastball, and it's 0-1. Greg Allen put down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Rain falling again, a little bit harder this time. As Allen hits a ground ball right back to the mound, knocked down by the glove of Ashcraft. He bends down and picks it up, underhands it to first. And there are two away. A couple of hard hit balls, though, by the Iowa Cubs here in inning number 4. Machado's one hopper was 100 off the bat. Greg Allen's ground ball 102. There are two outs and nobody on for Reese McGuire. Grounded into a fielder's choice. His first time up, swings to the first pitch and grounds it to first, collected by Derek Hall. He shovels to Ashcraft, and the inning is over. Rain really starting to come down now. I think we've got about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more, until that rain becomes a problem. Cade Horton trying to get one more inning under his belt at least and keep this a scoreless game as we move to the bottom of the fourth on Hope 940.
Best tailgate? It's gotta be burgers. And an ice cold Coke.
Real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. It's subs.
Nah, hot dog.
No, Dodger dog.
I'll drink to that. Pass me a Coke. It's gotta be crawfish.
Mac and cheese. No. 7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill and an ice cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day? Race day.
Calls for Coke.
You know it.
It's Tailgate 101.
Make more memories together this summer. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion with friends and family, hosting clients, or treating your staff, take them to Principal Park for an unforgettable time. Groups of 25 or more qualify for reduced prices. Come eat, drink, and watch baseball as a group for as low as $7 per ticket. Visit iowacubs.com to book your outing and ask about adding on a unique group experience.
TMG Management offers exceptional apartment living at multiple great locations around Des Moines. Whether it's Civic Center downtown, Old Main Apartments near Drake University, or Crown Point and Westbrook Apartments in West Des Moines, you'll find a great apartment with a tranquil, residential atmosphere to come home to. All of their properties offer superior and professional on-site management and energy-efficient apartment homes built with your needs in mind. Let TMG Management help you round third and head home at one of their great properties. Find out more at www.tmgmanagement.com.
I'm Darius Hill, and you're listening to Iowa Cubs baseball on Hope 940.
Boy, it's really starting to come down as the bottom of the fourth gets underway. Billy Cook, the DH, is in the batter's box on the right side for Indianapolis. Cade Horton right back to work, swinging a miss on a first pitch fastball, strike one. It came back from break on the TV broadcast here in Indianapolis. Pretty funny scene as Horton gets a swing and a miss on a slider, and it's 0-2. It was raining very hard, and there's one guy sitting alone in the upper deck. He's kind of staring out into the abyss. He is over there all the way on the far side of the upper deck, the first baseline. 0-2 from Horton. Off the end of the bat, cued foul as Cook was fooled by a slider. Made just a little bit of contact to stay alive. So it looks like there is going to be a storm here that sticks around for a couple of hours. Just want to make sure the field is playable every opportunity. 0-2 slider again, tapped foul off the end of the bat. And Cook is once again just barely able to hang around and stay alive. Slider is great tonight for Cade Horton. You saw him with the 0-2, and it's a fastball in and out of the mid of McGuire. It missed upstairs anyways. Popped away from him behind home plate. Rained earlier today, leading up to pregame. We started about 25 minutes late. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Climb the ladder with a heater, and Billy Cook is down on strikes for the second time. That's number 6 for the young right-hander, Cade Horton. And Derek Hall comes to the plate, a strikeout victim his first time up. Right now, Horton has the Indians off balance. In a great rhythm, and he tried a slider and missed a little bit low with it for ball 1. There is a group of 6 people sitting behind home plate, fully covered in ponchos, as Hall cuts sharply at a cutter and missed it. So it's even a ball to strike. That one came boring in on his hands. Home plate umpire trying to get Cade Horton's attention, and now he does. Has him step off. He's back on to the 1-1 pitch. Check swing, and he did not go on a PO. It's a little bit high. The rain really falling now, dripping off the bill of Cade Horton's cap. In a hitter's count, 2-1 pitch. Down and off the inside corner, ball 3. He wants to do baseball, and that's the hardest part. You can have a dry baseball, but your hand and your arm are wet, and you can't really find a dry spot to wipe them on a day like today. It's 3-1. Hall takes off the outside corner. They tried an off-speed pitch on the back door, and it just didn't quite get back to the edge. So Hall draws the 3rd walk that Horton has issued. 1 out base runner for Indianapolis. Matt Gorski will be the hitter. And he is up in the Iowa Cubs bullpen. That's Gavin Hollowell, who is going to start to throw. Horton deals out of the stretch, and a slider just missed. I don't know, maybe a little bit inside. No challenge here. Outfield playing Gorski to go the other way. And a timeout called by the hitter, just briefly. He's right back in the box, ready for the 1-0 pitch. And now Horton steps off the rubber, and what is this? He wants to do baseball. He and the umpire sort of going back and forth here. They both appear to be a little bit frustrated. But he has a new ball. And the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. That slider has been a real issue for Indianapolis hitters. Just consistently swinging over the top of it. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 4th, no score, a man on, and the 1-1 pitch off the end of the bat, foul. Fastball again from Horton, who's at 54 pitches now. This appears to be his final inning, and perhaps even his final hitter, depending on how long it takes. Timeout called, and what do we have here? 2-2, a pitch clock violation on Horton, I guess. Get the count corrected on the video board, and now the 2-2 pitch. Comes home. Hit in the air toward right. This is well hit. Owen Casey going back, turning around, and it's off the wall. He picks it up quickly and gets it back to the infield, keeping Derek Hall at 3rd base. But a 1-out double for Matt Gorski, and now Indianapolis threatens for the first time tonight. That's their first hit of the game. A 2-2 double from Matt Gorski, who took a late lunging swing at a slider down and away and hit it over Owen Casey's head, right to the base of the wall. And now Tony Kagul, the pitching coach, is slowly walking out to the mound. The infield will gather around him. Pulled something out of his pocket there. I think it's a dry rosin bag that he gives to Cade Horton to wipe his hands off on. He's also got a towel. And this conversation is broken up by the home plate umpire. So 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. And the hitter is Leover Peguero as Indianapolis is trying to take the lead. You know that Horton always has the possibility of a strikeout, and I would imagine that conversation might have been, this is your last hitter. Let's take a break, dry off, and see what we can do here. First pitch. Figueroa takes a slider in the dirt, ball one. Good block by McGuire. Now a timeout for Reese McGuire, who was trying to fix his padding behind home plate. Ready to go. Reese is all set. And he's set up on the upper inside corner. 1-0 pitch. He's in the dirt. Horton slipped a little bit when his back leg came through. So he kicked some of that mud free, and now we'll go back to work. 2-0. Figueroa has made solid contact today. Doesn't have a ton to show for it, but at the driver's seat now, the 2-0. In the dirt with a slider, 3 balls and no strikes. And Horton really struggling out there with the landing area of the mound. After each pitch, he continues kicking his leg rapidly up in the air, trying to knock some of the dirt free. Runners lead at second and third. Horton staring right at the man at third. Hall. 3-0 pitch to Figueroa. A strike on the outside corner. He wants to challenge it, thinking that may have been ball 4. And he is correct. It is ball 4. 4-pitch walk from Cade Horton, his 4th free pass of the night. And the bases are now full of Indianapolis Indians. 2 walks and a double. So 4 walks to go with 6 strikeouts, and that's going to be all for Cade Horton, the number 1 pitching prospect for the Chicago Cubs. Not a bad 2025 debut, but the fate of his ERA is not going to be reliant on his own merit. It'll be a pitching change brought to you by Plumbers and Steam Fitters. In today's business climate, you need partners you can trust and that care about you and your company as well as your customers. Partners like Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local Union number 33. Local Union number 33 finds the right people, trains them well, and supplies them with a reliable workforce. For more information, log on to ualocal33.org. Plumbers and Steam Fitters, proud sponsor of pitching changes on the Iowa Cubs radio network. We'll take a break. Bases loaded for Indianapolis. 1 out in the 4th inning of a scoreless game on the iCubs broadcast network.
Want a burger that jumps out at you? Then Zombie Burger and Drink Lab is the place to go. Zombie Burger is the home of the famous gourmet bashed burger, a custom 3-cut beef blend that's smashed on the grill for a crispy edge that seals in flavor. There are more than 25 signature burgers and sandwiches are topped with everything: guacamole, cheese curds, you name it. Zombie Burger has it. Remember, any burger can be ordered with a vegetarian or vegan patty. Need your zombie fast? Order online at zombieburgerdm.com or visit Zombie Burger in downtown Des Moines, just blocks from Principal Park and Jordan Creek Mall. Zombie Burger, it's a no-brainer.
Looking for the perfect home? Artisan Management Group has you covered at Cityville on 9, the Iowa Cubs' home away from home. With a resort-style pool, state-of-the-art fitness center, and an expansive dog park, they've got all the bases covered. Choose a studio, 1, 2, or 3-bedroom apartments, all just a home-run distance from Principal Park. Find your perfect place at cityvilleon9th.com or explore all their communities at artisanmanagementgroup.com. Cityville on 9th. Live well, live artisan.
I'm Connor Nolan, and you're listening to Iowa Cubs Baseball on Hope 940.
Big spot here for Gavin Hollowell. The Iowa Cubs have notably struggled with men on base early on in this series in Indianapolis. Now we'll see what the Indians do with the bases loaded and 1 out. Hollowell pitched once back in Des Moines. He allowed a run on 2 hits in 1 inning. Against the Omaha Storm Chasers, he'll face Malcolm Nunez to get started. Nunez flying to left his first time up. Hollowell's sidearm delivery missed the zone at 92 miles an hour, ball 1. Everything very wet down on the field. The rain's still falling, a little bit lighter again. And Hollowell deals. Broken back, ground ball toward third, picked up foul by the charging Chase Strumpf. He was ready to come home with it, but did not need to. Home plate umpire will clear off the dish. Getting a new bat now is Malcolm Nunez. And his RBI ground ball to third, a fielder's choice, allowed Indianapolis to garner a walk-off win in game one today. 1-1 from Hollowell. Swing and a miss through a slider at 82 miles per hour. And it's 1-2. Hollowell on top, the big right-hander. Looming large out there at 6'7", 215 pounds. The 1-2 pitch, clubbed toward right, but foul. He was late on the Hollowell fastball. Tough arm angle for a right-handed hitter. Hollowell dropping down at 6'7". Not submarine at all, but definitely not over the top. 1-2 again. Swing and a miss. Snuck a fastball by Nunez, and a big strikeout for Gavin Hollowell. 7th strikeout for Indianapolis hitters today. And it's up to Abraham Gutierrez, who struck out in his first at-bat. He is the catcher just added to the roster after game one today. Right-handed hitter. He hits a high fly ball to right. This should get Horton and Hollowell out of the inning. Christian Franklin is there. He hauls it in. And great work out of the bullpen by Gavin Hollowell. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the bases left loaded. Neither team could break through here in game 2 of the doubleheader. The 5th inning is next on the iCubs Broadcast Network.
Whether it's a Friday night or the 4th of July celebration, Iowa Cubs fans truly love the great fireworks shows at Principal Park each and every season. J&M Displays is a longtime provider of all Iowa Cubs fireworks shows. J&M Displays is ready to help with any event or celebration you have in mind. Their experienced team of expert pyrotechnicians are creative and highly trained to make your event one that will never be forgotten for fireworks and special effects. Call on J&M Displays, one of the largest suppliers in the Midwest. Go to jnmdisplays.com for more information.
Get ready for 2 nights of live music at Principal Park. Join us Friday, May 23rd for a rock show featuring the Pork Tornadoes, Damon Dotson, and Punching Pandas. Then on Saturday, May 24th, country star Craig Campbell takes the stage with Jordan Beam and Brad Morgan. Both shows start at 6 p.m. with gates opening at 5. General admission is just $15 per night or $25 for both. Upgrade to a hospitality package or go all in with a Bud Club table for the ultimate concert experience. Get your tickets now at iowacubs.com.
Cubs fans, it's time to bring down the house with Extreme powered by Mediacom. With internet speeds up to an amazing 1 gig and supercharged whole home Wi-Fi. You'll turn your house into the hottest hotspot on the block. Play with no limits. Stream with no worries. Speed into a new dimension of power and reliability. And get ready to feel extreme. Powered by Mediacom.
I'm James Triantos, and you're listening to Iowa Cubs Baseball on Hope 940.
Well, they did some work on the mound and the home plate area in between innings prior to Braxton Ashcraft getting out there. Now they're still trying to rake in some of that turfish to the batter's boxes. And the rain still falling doesn't make it any easier, but the 2 most important areas, obviously the batter's boxes and then the landing area of the mound, have been tended to. Still scoreless. Both teams have had chances, but nobody has come through with a big hit yet. Final line for Cade Horton in his season debut, 3 1/3 innings. No runs, 1 hit. He walked 4, struck out 6. I do believe the constant rain eventually impacted his command a little bit there in the 4th inning. Hard to believe it wouldn't have. Braxton Ashcraft going to come back out. This is probably his final inning, although their bullpen is quiet at the moment. He's 45 pitches in. They haven't really let anybody go over 50 in this series so far, although he did make a start on opening night, so perhaps he would have the ability to go a little bit deeper. Chase Strumpf grounded to third his first time up. And the first pitch outside from Ashcraft, ball one. The I-Cubs have 5 hits, and they've taken 1 walk. Ashcraft known for his command. And he missed upstairs, ball 2. So if he starts missing the zone with regularity, then you know there might be something going on with the mound. Ashcraft 2-0. Missed in the dirt, ball 3. Ashcraft 3-0. Strumpf taking all the way, and it's a strike. Ashcraft trying to get back into the count here. Infield straight up and deep, 3-1 pitch. Down the middle again is Strumpf strided with his feet, but never really thought about swinging at that pitch. So from 3-0 to 3-2. The payoff pitch home. Strumpf moves out of the way, and it's called strike 3. He thought it was inside. And instead, he goes down looking, and there's one away. 4th strikeout for Ashcraft. And on replay, that would have been interesting had it been challenged. He opted not to, but that was pretty close to being ball 4. Here's Christian Franklin, the leadoff hitter, and that pitch is a ball up and in, 1-0. Franklin, a strikeout victim in the first, walked in the third. He swings and rips a ball fair down the left field line into the Indians' bullpen. It bounces out of the corner right to the feet of Johnson, who hurries to throw in, but Franklin slides in safely feet first with a double. 6th hit of the game is a double for Franklin, their 2nd extra base hit today. And he has moved into scoring position with just 1 out. The rain is coming down as hard as it has all night in the moment. And if you could try to score here, play the bottom of the inning, you could win if it gets rained early. Casey going to swing at the first pitch and rip it down the right field line and off the wall. Franklin scores easily. Casey around second, digging for third. The relay throw is going to hit him and roll into foul ground. It's an RBI triple for Owen Casey, who gives a double thumbs up to the dugout. And the Iowa Cubs have the lead 1-0. Big swing of the bat for Owen Casey, who jumped on a hanging slider on the first pitch. Back-to-back extra base hits on 2 pitches for the I-Cubs. Infield in for Jonathan Long. The first pitch is upstairs, ball 1. Owen Casey drives in his 4th run of the season. He has 3 hits today in this game and 1 back in the first game. A 4-hit day for Casey. The pitch to Long, bends down low, and it's 2-0. The I-Cubs finally break through to grab the lead, and if the rain continues to fall, that's good news. Put up a 0 in the bottom of the inning and get out of here. Hitters count for Long, 2-0. He takes ball 3 in the dirt. And Jonathan Long certainly in the driver's seat here. Long can be patient. Ashcraft fires. And Long does look at a strike. Long waggles the bat. Ashcraft challenges. It's another strike, 3-2. Put that one right at the bottom of the zone. 1 run on 7 hits for the Iowa Cubs. Nothing on 1 hit for Indianapolis. 3-2 for Jonathan Long. Swing and a line drive up the middle into center field, a base hit. In to score is Casey, and the I-Cubs double their lead to 2-0 here in the 5th. So finally a breakthrough for the Iowa Cubs. 2nd hit for Long tonight. And it's 2-0 in favor of the good guys as Ben Cowles will bat. Right-handed hitter takes off the outside corner, ball one. Cowles struck out in the first, came back with a single in the third. Ben has a hit in every game this year. Had a big swing and a miss here. Evens the count 1-1. Couple of hard-hit baseballs. Christian Franklin first, and then Owen Casey, followed by a single from Jonathan Long. 103 off the bat, 113 off the bat, and then 78 off the bat. Right up the middle as Ashcraft misses, and it's 2-1. Sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. And another hitter's count. Cowles swings away and drives it foul toward right, heading out of play toward the seats. It's the Iowa Cubs' first lead of the day. They had not led in game one at all, despite tying it late. And now the break-even pitch. Cowles lines it right back into the net. Had a good swing. 2-0 Iowa Cubs. Cowles looking out through raindrops. At the pitch, he swings and misses. Blocked in the dirt by Gutierrez. Cowles strikes out for the second time. Fifth strikeout for Ashcraft. And just now will the bullpen start to churn for Indianapolis. James Triantos is the batter, 0 for 2. Ground ball to short and a strikeout. Ashcraft deals. Big swing at a curveball. Triantos got a piece for strike one. Fouled it right back into the midsection of the catcher. Ashcraft unwinds and shot the outside corner. He missed a little bit out. 1-1. Infield basically straight up here. Maybe a little to the pull side on the right side of the infield. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt, smothered by the leaning Gutierrez. He had to lean into the right-hand batter's box. Pardon me, the left-hand batter's box. Two runs in the frame. This pitch low and out again, ball 3. Frank with a double, Casey an RBI triple, Jonathan Long an RBI single. Raindrops still falling here at Victory Field. 3-1 to Triantos. Hard ground ball to third. Right there is Nunez, who backhands and goes to second. That'll end the inning. But the damage is done. The Iowa Cubs with 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They leave one stranded. And after 4.5 innings, it's the Iowa Cubs 2, Indianapolis 0 on the iCubs Broadcast Network.
Great news. 2025 Iowa Cubs season tickets are still available, and there's no better place to spend your summer than out at the ballpark. You'll get access to the best seats at the best price, free parking, invitation to member-only events, and so much more. Let's take your fandom to the next level and become a season ticket member today. Call 515-243-6111 or visit iowacubs.com to buy your tickets. We can't wait to see you at Principal Park.
Musco Sports Lighting is a proud sponsor of the Iowa Cubs. Since 1976, Musco has called Iowa home while creating the most innovative sports lighting solutions in the world. Musco's LED system improves visibility and creates light shows to celebrate everything from a home run to another iCubs win. From Principal Park to community fields to the biggest stadiums in the world, Musco creates a better experience for players and fans. Learn more at musco.com.
A 10-game flex pack is the perfect way to experience all of the fun of an Iowa Cubs game at Principal Park while not being tied to a set of dates. Create a customized experience just for you. Use all 10 tickets for one game or mix and match them over multiple visits. The choice is yours. Flex pack tickets are good for any game all season long. Visit iowacubs.com to get yours today.
I'm Benjamin Cowles, and you're listening to Iowa Cubs Baseball on Hope 940.
Nine-hitter Alika Williams will lead off in the home half of the fifth inning for Indianapolis. The Iowa Cubs lead 2-0. Williams struck out at his first at-bat and takes ball one from Gavin Hollowell, who helped Cade Horton out of a bases-loaded jam with one out last inning when he came on. Next pitch bunted toward third by Williams, and that's going to be foul. Picked up by Chase Strumpf. Good to see the bats breaking through early in the game today after they had struggled early on in the first two contests in this series. Honestly, they did struggle early on today in game two as well. The 1-1 from Hollowell. He leans down and comes up and in, missing the zone to Alika Williams. And it's 2 balls a strike on the number 9 hitting shortstop. Hugging the line at third is Strumpf. 2-1 pitch, fisted foul down into the feet of Alika Williams. Got himself with that foul ball and will take a lap around home plate, trying to shake it off. Waggling the bat is Williams. 2-2 lifted in the air. A lazy fly ball to right center. Christian Franklin moving to his left has it. And there's one away. Digging in on the left side, the leadoff hitter Bryce Johnson, 0 for 1 with a walk, third time through the order. And a fastball just missed for ball one. You always wonder now on a close pitch, are they going to challenge it or not? This time the answer was no. Swinging a drive, deep right field, but out in front too far. The breaking ball was Johnson. So it's even 1-1. Raindrops still falling, but now if you have the lead, you don't mind if it comes down harder. This game would have gone deep enough to be official, should we get to that point. Action in the Indianapolis pen as Hollowell comes home. Big swing and a miss at a letter-high fastball. And Hollowell on top of ball and 2 strikes. Leaning in at the waist. Here's the call in his ear. Comes home. He missed high. Hollowell fires a 2-2 slider off the inside corner. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. A full count on Johnson. And he comes back with a payoff pitch, and it drops low and off the outside corner, ball 4. So Johnson works the 5th walk for an Indianapolis hitter. Hollowell comes set of the belt and delivers. Check swing, and they'll appeal to first. And on that appeal, he went too far. It's 0-1. Nick York, who is 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center and a walk. The home plate umpire did not want to appeal that play, but thankfully he did. It was a strike. The 0-1 to York almost hit him. He lunged backward out of the way with his hips just in time. That waggling in the yellow batting glove to door in the hands of York, who drives the ball to the gap in right center. It'll split the outfielders and go all the way to the base of the wall. Johnson is flying around third. He's going to score, and it's an RBI double for Nick York. Indianapolis is within one as they have halved the Iowa Cubs advantage here right away in the bottom of the fifth. So the one-out walk proves costly as York comes through with a double-double, his third of the day. That's his first run batted in, and the tying run is in scoring position now. Hollowell in a big spot now to the three-hitter Billy Cook, who swings wildly through a breaking ball. And it's strike one. Billy Cook 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts in this one. He's hit leadoff. He's hit cleanup, hitting third here in game 3 of the series. He looked at a fastball right over the center of home plate. He's going to be kicking himself for not swinging at that one. And it's 0-2. Tying run at second with one out of the fifth. Next pitch is fought off foul. Breaking ball picked right off the top of the dirt behind home plate on a late lunching swing. By the three-hitter Billy Cook, trying to get the job done here. At least get him to third where a wild pitch might score the tying run. 0-2 now. Fisted in the air, first base side and playable. In fair territory, Jonathan Long moves into foul ground and then makes the catch for the second out here in the home fifth. That'll get Derek Hall to the plate, 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. And walking slowly to the mound now is the pitching coach for the Iowa Cubs, Tony Cagoule. Going to chat with Hollowell, who has thrown 24 pitches. There is another man up in the bullpen, and that's Jack Neely. Getting loose would be pitching for the second time in this series. He would be the first example of a guy doing that in a series this year for the Iowa Cubs. Leading at second, the tying run, and Hollowell with an inside move back in that direction. Looks at Nick York. And gets him closer to the base. Could be a big couple of feet on a potential base hit. Now the pitch to Hall, the lefty, who spins out of the way. Good ball game here. The I-Cubs finally broke through with a couple of runs, and then Indianapolis has answered quickly as Hollowell deals to Hall. A slider down and in, hit him in the leg, and that's actually a break for Indianapolis. I'm sorry, for the Iowa Cubs. Bad luck for Indianapolis. If that misses Hall, it hit him on the back knee. It's a wild pitch, and the tying run moves to third. That's going to be it for Hollowell. Marty Peavy is out of the dugout, and we'll have the Plumbers and Steamfitters pitching change. Going to call on the right-hander Jack Neely to try and get out of a jam here with 2 on and 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. The Iowa Cubs have a 2-1 lead on a rainy Thursday night in Indianapolis. More coming up from Indianapolis on the iCubs Broadcast Network.
Make more memories together this summer. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion with friends and family, hosting clients, or treating your staff, take them to Principal Park for an unforgettable time. Groups of 25 or more qualify for reduced prices. Come eat, drink, and watch baseball as a group for as low as $7 per ticket. Visit iowacubs.com to book your outing and ask about adding on a unique group experience.
The Iowa Cubs and Central Iowa Mechanical are proud to pay tribute to our community's military, law enforcement, fire, and first responder service members all season long at Principal Park and our Salute to Service program. An active duty or veteran of military service, law enforcement, professional firefighter, or first responder will be recognized on the field before the game. To nominate your candidate to be honored in the field in the Iowa Cubs Central Iowa Mechanical Salute to Service program, visit iowacubs.com.
Now back to the ballpark for Iowa Cubs baseball on Hope 940.
Jack Neely is the man on the mound for the Iowa Cubs here in a big spot. 2 on, 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth, and the Iowa Cubs leading by a score of 2-1. With Neely coming on here, you sort of get the feeling that the Iowa Cubs believe this game could be called at some point. And so they're going to one of their premier back of the bullpen arms now to make sure this lead holds. Neely has pitched twice, an inning and 2/3 with a couple of strikeouts. He has not allowed a hit to this point. And Matt Gorski will be the batter. He doubled back in the 4th inning, 1 for 2 today. So a dangerous hitter in Gorski. York at second. The pitch is a slider breaking into the left-hand batter's box, and McGuire reaches across his body to snag it. Almost everybody up in the Indianapolis bullpen right now. Standing around watching one pitcher throw. Neely missed inside with a heater at 95. It's 2-0 on Gorski. Neely goes back to the cleat cleaner behind the mound and wipes his feet on it. Now the 2-0. Gorski looked at a strike. Good pitch from Neely, 2-1. Here in the save on Tuesday night. The seats behind home plate are now completely vacant. Everybody up under the overhang of the second deck. Sort of an odd backdrop. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Had him out in front of a slider. And Neely 1 pitch away from getting Hollowell out of the 5th. Hollowell helped Horton out of a bases-loaded jam when he came in. And then Hollowell left with some traffic of his own, and now Neely trying to do the same thing in return. Gorski with water dripping off the front of his helmet. Squints his eyes toward the mound for the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Neely got him with a nasty slider down and away. And the I-Cubs maintain the lead. Indianapolis gets one back on 1 hit. And they leave 2. We will head to the 6th inning with the Iowa Cubs on top 2-1 on the I-Cubs Broadcast Network.
Looking for the perfect home? Artisan Management Group has you covered at Cityville on 9, the Iowa Cubs home away from home. With a resort-style pool, state-of-the-art fitness center, and an expansive dog park, they've got all the bases covered. Choose a studio, 1, 2, or 3-bedroom apartments, all just a home run distance from Principal Park. Find your perfect place at cityvilleon9.com or explore all their communities at artisanmanagementgroup.com. Cityville on 9. Live well, live artisan.
Get ready for 2 nights of live music at Principal Park. Join us Friday, May 23rd for a rock show featuring the Pork Tornadoes, Damon Dotson, and the Punching Pandas. Then on Saturday, May 24th, country star Craig Campbell takes the stage with Jordan Beam and Brad Morgan. Both shows start at 6 p.m. with gates opening at 5. General admission is just $15 per night or $25 for both. Upgrade to a hospitality package or go all in with a Bud Club table for the ultimate concert experience. Get your tickets now at iowacubs.com.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Let's get back to Iowa Cubs baseball on Hope 940 with Jason Kemp.
Jack Neely with a big strikeout keeps the I-Cubs in front as we begin inning number 6 in a game scheduled for 7, the second end of a doubleheader. Braxton Ashcraft will be finished after 5 innings and replaced by J.C. Flowers. Another Plumbers and Steamfitters pitching change tonight. And Dixon Machado is going to lead off. Ashcraft allowed 2 runs on 8 hits in 5 innings of work. He struck out 5 and walked 1. And now J.C. Flowers trying to keep this a 1-run game. We've had plenty of drama late in these contests. Now, between innings, as the rain has lightened a bit once again, they have gone to the infield and put that turfus down. So a couple of innings ago, they worked on home plate and the mound. And this inning, they threw a bunch of that in some of the problem areas on the infield. So the infield is now sort of a mixture, like a twist cone of ice cream with dark and light colored dirt. There's a strike to Machado to begin the inning. Fastball at 90 miles an hour, and it's 0-1. Machado 1 for 2. Flowers making his 2025 debut. Delivers, and a hard ground ball ripped to short. Alika Williams is there again and throws out Machado. That's the second time tonight Machado has hit a hard ground ball right at Alika Williams. That is not the guy you want to hit it at with his track record defensively. One out for Greg Allen. He has put down a bunt, and he's hit a hard ground ball right back to the mound today. Flowers, the 26-year-old right-hander, gets ahead 0-1 with a fastball foul back. 6'3" from Orange Park, Florida. 4th-round pick back in 2019 for J.C. Flowers, who pitched at Double-A to start last year and then made it here to Indianapolis by the end of the season. He's ahead 0-1. He deals to Allen and misses up and in. Ball 1 strike. Allen with very good speed was used as a pinch runner in game 1 today, scored the tying run in the 7th. He's swinging away here and chops one softly with a lot of spin on it into the grass on the third base side. It started rolling back toward fair territory, but was deep enough into the grass that it was not going to make it all the way back to the chalk. Flowers, a Florida State product, last year combined with an ERA just over 5. 2-strike pitch, called strike 3 on Allen, who goes right to his helmet to challenge. And as it shows up on the monitor, that was a ball. So Allen wins the challenge, call overturned, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Greg was pretty confident on that one. 32-year-old veteran. Waits for the 1-2 pitch, takes it down and in the dirt, a little bit further and a little bit lower off the inside corner. Bell tie set now. Flowers to Allen, and it's popped up foul back behind the dish. Last year, J.C. Flowers had a wonderful September. Allowed 1 run in his final 8 innings. 2-strike pitch to Allen. Rolled foul into the Iowa Cubs dugout. Look out over there. Bat Boy had to duck out of the way. That shot right into the netting, the space in the netting there. And the Bat Boy was sitting on the railing right there, had to get out of the way. Flowers to Allen. Deep drive, right field, way back, and off the very top of the wall. Allen digging for second, and will make it there just in front of the throw. What a rocket by Greg Allen, and he just missed a home run as he turned out a fastball and crushed it. Just didn't have enough air underneath it. York went back, turned around, and played the carom perfectly. There is a padded wall and then almost a chain link section or a clear section with a yellow padding on top, and it hit that clear section toward the top. Just missed. Allen on second for Reese McGuire, who looks at the first pitch and takes it for ball one. I'll get the exit velo on that shot by Allen. 101 off the bat. 375 feet. Needed one more foot. 1-0. Allen dancing at second. He'll stay put, and Flowers misses too far inside to McGuire. 2 balls and no strikes on the veteran catcher. 0 for 2. Had a sac fly, drove in a run in the first game tonight. As Flowers deals, McGuire got tied up a bit, popped it up third base side, and that'll get over the net behind home plate. And it's 2-1. McGuire yelling at his bat in between pitches. He's not happy with the swing he put on that pitch, which he thought was a good one to hit. Flowers spins the ball in the fingers of his right hand behind his back, and now McGuire steps out of the box, and a pitch clock violation on J.C. Flowers. We'll make that ball 3. So far, it's just rained tonight, not like the storms we dealt with last night in downtown Indianapolis. Part of the reason the game was postponed. A 3-1 to McGuire. Swing and a miss, and it's full. They said it was going to be severe weather, and they were not wrong. 80-mile-per-hour winds. Tony Cagoule, the ICUBS pitching coach, said he saw a woman blowing down the street. I don't know if he's overstating that or if that's true, but he said he saw a woman being blown down the street. Payoff pitch. In the dirt, got past the catcher Gutierrez and all the way to the backstop on ball 4. So Allen moves over to third. Reese McGuire draws a 1-out walk, and there are runners now on the corners for the ICUBS, who lead 2-1 here in the 6th inning. This game's scheduled for 7. Keep that in mind. And Chase Strumpf has a chance to add some insurance. He's 0 for 2 today. Downtown Indianapolis, including the ballpark, lost power last night. First pitch to Strumpf. He is a strike painting the outside corner. The hotel apparently lost power around 10:30, 11 p.m. last night. Out of the stretch, Flowers kicks the left leg and fires. Swing and a miss by Strumpf. Puts him behind 0-2. I say apparently because the speaker system and the alarm started going off in our room, and it kept saying, we lost power, don't use the elevator or the stairs. But the lights were on and my TV was on. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strumpf couldn't catch up to the high fastball. And Flowers with a massive strikeout there for the second out of the inning. 93 toward the top of the zone, and that's a big out as Christian Franklin will now try and drive in a run with 2 down. Franklin a double in 2 at-bats. He's also walked. Runners on the corners here, trying to build on a 1-run lead. First pitch to Christian, missing outside, ball 1. And I don't know if a generator kicked in. The lights flickered once, but I was watching basketball and never lost TV. They kept saying the power's out, don't move. 1-0 pitch. Fisted foul the other way by Franklin, and it's even 1-1. Allen leads at third, McGuire at first. 1-1 home to Franklin. Swing and a miss. He chased the slider downstairs. That makes it 1-2. Tornadoes were in the area about 10 miles north of downtown. They were worried about flooding as well. It was no joke last night. Much better this evening, but a lot of rain. Runners lead. McGuire dancing early at first. Now the 1-2 pitch. Hit hard on the ground to short, but right at Alika Williams, who bobbled it through late to second. That'll get a run in as Reese McGuire was hustling all the way, and he forced the throw from Williams to be late, and it's 3-1. Wow, what a play by Reese McGuire there to get to second. prior to the throw from Williams on a hard ground ball. Boy, Alika Williams bobbled it just momentarily, taking it out of his glove, and couldn't get it over there in time. Now Owen Casey. He swings to the first pitch and golfs it foul. So give Franklin an RBI, his third of the year. It's 3-1 ICubs. And Reese McGuire with a massive hustle play there. Still 2 on for Casey. He takes up and away, and it's even a ball to strike. He's 3 for 3 with an RBI triple, Owen Casey. Standing still in the left-hand box, bat circling over his shoulder. The pitch. Changeup sinks a little bit low for ball 2. Flowers ready. Here he comes, and he got one past Casey. Swing and a miss. Casey wants a timeout. It's granted right before Flowers was prepared to deliver. So you got one insurance run. How about a couple more here? Casey swinging a hot bat. 2-2 pitch. Fisted foul right down in the batter's box. It was picked up by the catcher Gutierrez, but behind home plate. And thus a foul ball. It almost got fair. From the belt, Flowers, a look at second of the pitch. Casey drives it the other way toward left, and that will tail out of play into the seats. We started about 24 minutes late because of rain, and it's been raining for a majority of the game. 3-1 ICubs, 2 on, 2 outs in the 6th. Casey swings away and rolls one foul off the front of the dugout. He's checking the status of that bat to make sure it's still intact. He's happy with the results for now. 2 singles and an RBI triple for Owen Casey. Flowers deals. Casey moves out of the way, ball 3. And it's a full count now, and the runners all will have a head start. 9 hits for the Iowa Cubs. Runners go, 3-2 pitch. Hard ground ball to first, stabbed by the sliding Derek Hall. And he is up with it to first with the pitcher covering to end the inning. A hot shot by Casey, not quite enough on it to get it through the infield, but the ICubs grab a run. 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The ICubs now lead Indianapolis 3-1. Jack Neely coming back for more on the ICubs Broadcast Network.
Great news. 2025 Iowa Cubs season tickets are still available, and there's no better place to spend your summer than out at the ballpark. You'll get access to the best seats at the best price, free parking, invitation to member-only events, and so much more. Let's take your fandom to the next level and become a season ticket member today. Call 515-243-6111 or visit iowacubs.com to buy your tickets. We can't wait to see you at Principal Park.
Best tailgate? It's gotta be burgers and an ice cold Coke.
Real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Nah, hot dog.
No, Dodger dog.
I'll drink to that. Pass me a Coke. It's gotta be crawfish.
Mac and cheese. No. 7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill and an ice cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day? Race day.
Calls for Coke.
You know it.
It's Tailgate 101.
A 10-game flex pack is the perfect way to experience all of the fun of an Iowa Cubs game at Principal Park while not being tied to a set of dates. Create a customized experience just for you. Use all 10 tickets for one game or mix and match them over multiple visits. The choice is yours. Flex pack tickets are good for any game all season long. Visit iowacubs.com to get yours today.
Iowa Cubs baseball lives here on Hope 940. And now, Jason Kemp.
Jack Neely gets a full inning here in the bottom of the sixth, a 3-1 lead for the Iowa Cubs as Neely climbs the ladder up and in on Leover Peguero. Leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the sixth. Peguero 0 for 1 with a walk. Neely out of the stretch. Delivers, and a high fastball popped up. Sky high above the infield. Left side, Cowles, the shortstop, backpedals and secures it. And there's one out. Neely telling me prior to the game today, I asked him about the origin of the mustache, and he said, that thing is not going anywhere. I decided to do it back when I was with the Yankees. This was prior to the update on the facial hair policy. And it just stuck. Here's Malcolm Nunez swinging and fouling back the first pitch. And he said, I decided, and this is a direct quote, I decided to let it eat. And now I feel naked without the mustache. So I asked him and said, there's no way it's going away anytime soon. He said, no chance. 0-1 to Nunez, swinging a miss, breaking ball in the dirt. And now Neely in front 0-2. He has not allowed a hit, much less a run so far. He has been fantastic out of the bullpen. Had a brief taste of Major League Baseball last year. The 0-2 popped up behind home plate, over our head, and foul out of the ballpark. He said, I know it didn't go well, but it taught me a lot. It was great to get there and really enjoyed it, and it gave me something to try and get back to prove that I can be better at that level. Nunez 0 for 2 tonight. Waits for the 0-2 pitch and hits it sky high to shallow right. Jonathan Long, the first baseman, going back. He's called off by the second baseman, Machado, in foul ground, and Dixon hauls it in for the second out. So 2 gone for Abraham Gutierrez, 0 for 2. And he takes low and outside his AAA debut. Neely standing tall out on the hill, delivers, and a ball cranked in the air towards center. Franklin's got a beat on it going back, leans over his shoulder and hauls it in waist high to end the inning. Neely 2 pop-ups and a line drive to get through a 1-2-3-6. The iCubs are 1 inning away from a doubleheader split. They lead 3-1 on the iCubs Broadcast Network.
Make more memories together this summer. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion with friends and family, hosting clients, or treating your staff, take them to Principal Park for an unforgettable time. Groups of 25 or more qualify for reduced prices. Come eat, drink, and watch baseball as a group for as low as $7 per ticket. Visit iowacubs.com to book your outing and ask about adding on a unique group experience.
At Mid-American Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Escape to paradise at Principal Park for Margaritaville night on Friday, June 14th. Enjoy a night of island vibes with a live performance by Banana Wind, a Hawaiian t-shirt giveaway to the first 1,000 fans, and the ultimate feast, a cheeseburger and margarita special. Kick back, soak up the summer fun, and enjoy baseball with a tropical twist. Get your tickets now at iowacubs.com.
More Iowa Cubs baseball with Jason Kemp on Hope 940.
One more chance to add some insurance to the lead for the Iowa Cubs. They're on top 3-1 in the nightcap of today's doubleheader. This is a 7-inning game, and we are in the 7th now. Jonathan Long has a couple of hits today. He'll lead off. Drove in the second run of the season in his last at bat, and he takes a strike from J.C. Flowers. Out for his second inning of work. From the belt to pitch. Breaking ball rolled fair inside of first and down the line. And Jonathan Long has a 3-hit game, joining Owen Casey in that club. He's gone the other way twice. And Jonathan Long coming alive in front of Ben Cowles, who is 1 for 3. This offense certainly has the lineup depth. I talked about it a bit earlier today. They have young, top talent, and veterans. Good mix. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1. You have guys who have hit at the AAA level or even in the big leagues. And then guys who are potential phenoms. This is a breaking ball downstairs, 2-0 on Ben Cowles. Guys like Cowles, Franklin, Casey, Alcantara, Triantos, Ballesteros. That's the quote-unquote future, and a lot of folks comparing it to that 2015 group. Flowers home 2-0. Driven the other way toward right, tailing toward the foul line, and it will curve foul into the seats. Cowles thought he may have extra bases. So that one went too far foul over on the right side. Just a little bit tardy. But still a hitter's count 2-1 for Cowles. Infield at double play depth. And the pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. Long, a short lead held by Derek Hall. Flowers running out of time on the pitch clock. It's down to 1. He gets home just in time, and a big swing and a miss results from Cowles. Sets the bat down just beside home plate. 3-2 pitch. See if Long wants to run. He does not. Payoff pitch. Sky to right. This is driving York back into the corner. Up against the sidewall. He leaps, and he did not make the catch. And it'll be another full count pitch coming up. Lost the view of where that ball ended up. York ended up picking up the baseball, but the wall sort of comes in as you get to the very right field corner, and York kind of leapt across the foul line up toward the sidewall. Came down with an empty glove. So we'll do it 3-2 again. Fisted foul into the net this time, and Cowles continues to battle. New set of baseballs brought out there for the umpire. Action begins in the bullpen for Indy. 3-2 again. Cowles takes high, ball 4, and there are 2 on with nobody out here in the 7th, trying to put this one to bed. Warming up in the bullpen for the Iowa Cubs is a right-hander as well. And now a slow walk out to the mound from Sidney Bello, the pitching coach. I think that's Trevor Richards down there. He hasn't turned his back yet. With the bullpens on the field, the pitchers throw away from home plate toward the right field corner. They'll do it again tomorrow, or at least we'll try. The weather is testy this week. Scheduled to go at 6:35 again Eastern time tomorrow, 5:35 Central. And as of now, it's Jordan Wicks who will throw for the Iowa Cubs, his second appearance of the year. Both teams are scheduled to send their Game 1 starters back around on Sunday, Chris Flexen and Mike Burrows. No word on Saturday for either side. Conversation on the mound ends. Triantos at the plate. Takes a first pitch strike from Flowers. Triantos 0 for 3. He has had a hit in every game so far, except for this one. Can change that here with the 0-1 pitch. It's up and in, and he sort of swung at it while twisting out of the way, but not nearly close enough to going around that time. And it's 1-1. They did appeal, but again, he did not offer at that pitch. It's pretty clear. Runners lead at first and second. The 1-1 golf foul by Triantos, and it's 1-2. Hands together at the belt, bright blue glove. And coming home wide and all the way to the backstop is Flowers. Wild pitch. Jonathan Long will trot toward third, and Ben Cowles makes his way to second. And now a base hit probably gets you a pair. And it's 2-2 on Triantos. Here's the 2-2. That's in the dirt and smothered this time by Gutierrez. The last one was way out of his range. That one was in the dirt near his right knee, and he kind of flicked it to the ground with his glove. That waving over the back shoulder. Timeout was attempted by Triantos, and they did give it to him. Flowers decided to throw the pitch anyways, and I thought for a moment they were going to count the pitch. Flowers home, missing downstairs, ball four, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. The ICubs had a chance just like this in game one of the doubleheader and did not score. They're going to try and change the result here, but not against J.C. Flowers. Manager Chris Truby out of the Indianapolis dugout. He'll make a change. It's a Plumbers and Steamfitters pitching change with the bases loaded in the top of the seventh, and the Iowa Cubs in front of Indianapolis by a score of 3-1. Dixon Machado will bat against the new pitcher. We'll tell you who it is after the break on the iCubs Broadcast Network.
Eat, sip, and cheer on the Iowa Cubs from a Butt Club table. Enjoy exclusive access to a four-top table with an all-you-can-eat and drink buffet. There's no better way to watch a game than the Butt Club. Visit iowacubs.com to book yours today.
All right, here's the thing with mobile banking. You can get the laundry done and the yard, and it's only Thursday. Sure, run that extra block or mile with your four-legged buddy. Hey, you're at the gym? Do a few more reps. A little more gaming with your squad? Yeah, the Galaxy needs you. Better eat another s'more. And by another, we mean fifth. Soak up every single minute of every single day. Go on and do whatever it is you do and still keep in touch with your money. Great Southern Mobile Banking. Get the app now for Android and iOS. Member FDIC. Data rates may apply. See carrier for details.
Make sure you're game day ready with the perfect fit. Rep the Iowa Cubs in style with the latest hats, jerseys, shirts, and more. Shop online at iowacubs.com or visit the team store to gear up for the season. Go Cubs!
Get your peanuts ready. Iowa Cubs baseball is back on Hope 940.
The new pitcher is right-hander Phineas Delbata Smith, which has got to be one of the top names in the International League, at least early here in 2025. Delbata Smith, hyphenated between Bata and Smith. And the first name, Phineas, outstanding for a reliever. He has pitched in one game this year. He takes over with the bases loaded and nobody out in the Iowa Cubs' seventh inning. And the batter is going to be the red-hot Dixon Machado, 1 for 3 with a double today. Delmonte Smith with the infield in behind him comes home. And a breaking ball is over for a called strike to Machado. Machado has hit in every game he's played. He has 4 RBI. And Delmonte Smith will fire. That bounced in front of home plate and skipped right to the feet of Gutierrez, who blocked it. Delvonta Smith pitched once in St. Paul last Friday, allowed 3 runs on 4 hits in 1 inning. He would love a bounce-back performance. Tough spot, though. Runners lead at every base. The pitch outside of Machado, ball 2. All of the runners belong to J.C. Flowers, who came on in the 6th inning and then started the 7th. 2-1 for Dixon. Swinging a drive, dead center field and crushed. Gorski going back. He'll get there and make the catch retreating. Everybody trying to tag and to throw to second, and out there is Triantos. A run does score on the fly ball. So a sac fly for Machado makes it 4-1, and he now has the team lead with 5 RBI. But Triantos thinking he could make it into second. Gorski made a good throw. And there are 2 away with just a man remaining on third base. That's Cowles. And the batter is Greg Allen. Left-handed hitter. In at third, Nunez. The rest of the infield is backed up, and a changeup is cut on and missed by Greg Allen. Oh, bases loaded, nobody out. You'd love to get more than 1 run, but that double play on a sac fly might prevent that. Makes it a lot harder. The 0-1 is a slider bounced foul on a defensive swing by Allen. Triantos just looked like he couldn't quite get going on the wet infield dirt. 10 hits for the I-Cubs, just 2 for Indianapolis. Still a ball game, though, at 4-1. Greg Allen trying to add 1 more here. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball clubbed in the air, deep center again. Gorski giving chase, still giving chase. It's over his head and off the wall. That'll get Ben Cowles in, and rolling into second with his second double of the night is Greg Allen. The I-Cubs out in front 5-1. Another ball crushed off the wall by Greg Allen. Goodness, is he swinging a good bat all of a sudden today. RBI double, his second double of the game, his first RBI of the season. And Reese McGuire will be the hitter. 0 for 2 with a walk. McGuire, left-handed hitter, takes at the top of the zone, strike 1. Well, Dixon Machado took the team RBI lead with 5 a moment ago. Now McGuire could tie him with a base hit. He swings at a changeup, tried to drag his bat slowly through the zone and made a little bit of contact on the foul ball, and it's 0-2. McGuire dries his bat off using his pant legs. Delvonta Smith with the high black sox settles in and works to the plate. McGuire rips a line drive up the middle into center field, a base hit. That's his 5th RBI of the year as Greg Allen streaks around third, and the I-Cubs have some wiggle room now. It's 6-1. Starting to pour it on a little bit here in the 7th. The bulk of the runs belong to J.C. Flowers. That one, though, is on Phineas Delvonta Smith. McGuire has a hit in every game he's played this year. Now Chase Strumpf, 0 for 3 out of the 9-hole. With the man on first, Delvonta Smith to the plate, a fastball past Strumpf for strike 1. The I-Cubs, after a tough loss here in Game 1 of the doubleheader, are going to feel good about the nightcap if they can hold on at the bottom of this inning. 6-1 lead. Strumpf swings and got jammed, fouling it up over the net behind home plate. And it's now 0-2. Ready from the belt in the pitch. It's a slider at the knees, called strike three. Strumpf didn't like it, but he's down on strikes for the third time tonight. Big inning for the I-Cubs. They had a couple of insurance runs, 3 of them actually, and have a 6-1 lead over Indianapolis, trying to split a doubleheader. 3 outs to go. We'll be back with more on the I-Cubs Broadcast Network.
Your premier Chevy dealers, proud to be presenting sponsors of the Iowa Cubs Kids Club and proud to be part of Team Chevy, the #1 selling brand in Iowa for the past 10 years. Thanks to a talented roster that includes versatile SUVs like Equinox and dependable trucks like Silverado. Visit moreiowans.drivechevy.com today to find exciting offers and a dealer near you based on IHS Markit CYE 2010 to 2020 new vehicle retail registrations in the state of Iowa.
A 10-game flex pack is the perfect way to experience all of the fun of an Iowa Cubs game at Principal Park while not being tied to a set of dates. Create a customized experience just for you. Use all 10 tickets for one game or mix and match them over multiple visits. The choice is yours. Flex pack tickets are good for any game all season long. Visit iowacubs.com to get yours today.
There's so much to do in downtown Des Moines. Why waste your time commuting when you come to visit? The Hampton Inn downtown sits right next to the Des Moines River at 120 Water Street and just 2 blocks north of Principal Park, 2 blocks south of Port Avenue Entertainment District, and a short walk from the East Village. Stay at a great room with free Wi-Fi and breakfast during your stay. Don't sit on the sidelines. Call 515-244-1650 to book a room at the Hampton Inn downtown and be part of the action in downtown Des Moines.
Hope 940 is your home for Iowa Cubs baseball all summer long.
Three more outs to get for the Iowa Cubs as they are in search of a series split, or a doubleheader split, I should say, trying to take a 2-1 lead in the series here in Indianapolis. They have a 6-1 advantage as Trevor Richards takes over on the mound and gets a swing and a miss from Alika Williams, leadoff hitter in the Indianapolis 7. This is the final inning scheduled in today's doubleheader. And Richards steals the ball, clubbed on a line to center, but Franklin easing back will get there. And Christian Franklin having a big game defensively in the outfield, makes the grab, and there's one down. The Iowa Cubs don't gamble with fire safety. Howard & Sons Fire Alarm Sales and Service are the official provider of fire extinguishers to Principal Park. For all of your fire safety needs, contact Howard & Sons in West Des Moines. One out, top of the order now, Bryce Johnson. And Trevor Richards delivers a strike at 91 toward the bottom of the zone. He comes right back out of the windup and misses off the outside corner. So it's even a ball and a strike. Jack Neely an inning and a third in line, perhaps for the win, depending on who they give it to. And a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. It technically would be Gavin Hollowell, but the official scorer has some wiggle room there if he feels like Neely deserves the win. Both pitched well. 1-2. A changeup flared in the air. Shallow left. Tough play. Greg Allen charging. Still charging. Makes the catch on the run. Oh, he just never stopped sprinting down the line and is able to make the catch through the raindrops for the second out. So 2 gone for Cade York. This is Richards' second appearance of the campaign. Nick York with an RBI double in this one. Richards out of the stretch. Fouled right back to the screen. This pitch catches the inside corner, and now down to their final pitch are the Indianapolis Indians. Final strike. And Richards trying to finish it. Not a save situation. Here he comes. York drives it foul down the right field line. The iCubs offensive depth coming through for him here in game 2 of the Twin Bill. And Richards trying to finish it off, another 0-2. He dropped one in the dirt. It bounced on top of home plate. Ball 1 and strike 2 on York. The iCubs almost a tremendous comeback win. The opener today, they fell a little bit short. But trying to stabilize here. 1-2 pitch. Low and outside from Richards. And it's now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just hoping to avoid any kind of drama at all. Richards with a difficult debut this year. This pitch is down low. Had a tough outing back in Des Moines. In the third of an inning, allowed 2 runs on a couple of walks and a hit. 3-2 on York. This pitch fouled back into the net. He challenged him, and York able to stay alive. He has the pitch call from the catcher, McGuire. The pitch bounced to short. Big hops for Cowles. He throws to first. Ball game over. And the iCubs are winners here in game 2 of the doubleheader. A tough walk-off loss, 7-6 in game 1 of the Twin Bill. They come back. It's solid pitching from Cade Horton in the bullpen. And the depth of the offense on display as they take down the Indianapolis Indians in the nightcap by a final score of 6-1. 12 hits for the Iowa Cubs in the second game of the doubleheader. They're now 3-2 on the season. Don't go anywhere. We've got the Iowa Cubs postgame show for the second time today. Coming up in just a few minutes. More from Victory Field in Indianapolis on the iCubs Broadcast Network.
You've been listening to Iowa Cubs Baseball on Hope 940 and online at iowacubs.com. Tune in to each game throughout the season, starting with the pregame show 20 minutes before first pitch. Stay tuned. Jason Kemp will be back with the postgame show after these messages.
Celebrate all of life's biggest moments with a BMW of Des Moines Skybox Suite at an Iowa Cubs game. With the Skybox rental, you receive an exclusive space for you and your guests, reserved parking passes, a member of our waitstaff assigned to your suite, indoor and outdoor seating options, a climate-controlled space, and most importantly, a great view of all the action in Principal Park. Visit iowacubs.com to reserve yours today.
Diamond shine brighter with Morrissey fine jewelry.
Sometimes you hear people talk about going out of their way to help you. Well, I'm Vince Morrissey from Morrissey Fine Jewelry, and I like to make one thing very clear. Helping you is never out of our way at Morrissey's. It's just the way we do business. We'll do whatever it takes to take care of you. Stop in and see us. Morrissey Fine Jewelry, 235 5th Street in Valley